both teams played really hard. Our guys played extremely hard. We played really well, probably until the last 5 minutes. And I think that was a home game for them. They took advantage of that aspect, I think, which happens. But generally, overall, like I said, I think it was really well played. It was a good college basketball. You have two teams playing really hard. Two teams that I think have very bright futures. And that's what a lot of these things are about. Getting that experience, being in this, the cauldron a little bit. It was a great experience for us, winning the first game, coming here, putting ourselves in position to win, and we just didn't do enough, when we needed to make it be a positive experience for us.
Coach, when you look at the switch that they made in your lineup there, I think when the flagrant was occurred, how much do you think that influenced their rally where they went a lot smaller?
Well, I think, obviously they went smaller. We matched it. Obviously, foul trouble on Udofia was a key factor in the game for us, and not having out there. He's our best player. I think tons of people across the country got to see how good this kid is. He's been that way for 2 years. So I think that first was the most important thing, that he was not in there for us at that key time. Then they made that switch, and just having to coincide with when game swung on that, whatever, going to the monitor. Game swung, it's a fact. And we just couldn't seem to, at that juncture, get out of it. We missed some fouls. You've got to make fouls to win games. They made theirs. We didn't, they get credit for that. So, and I think really that's what it was. In the end, they might have gone small. We matched it. Chris got back out there. They made plays that they had to make. They made their fouls, and we did.
Just for what this season has been, getting a postseason victory and all that, just how happy are you looking back on everything you guys have been able to accomplish?
Well, like anything, the more time you have to reflect, the more I'll be able to sit there and say, we did have a very good year. You go 16-2 in the WAC and win the league championship. To go 1 loss in January, 0 loss in February, 0 losses in March to finish the regular season says a lot about what our guys did. And for us, we only have 1 senior. To get that kind of experience and have that kind of success, then to be rewarded with Matt Large in the NIT, it's huge for us. And then for us to bounce back, everybody's disappointed when they're losing the conference tournament. So for us to face that adversity and bounce back against a really good Ohio team, this experience hopefully is going to be invaluable for us. Because, when you look from December 3rd on, and you look at how we played and the manner in which we played, I think you're staring at a really good basketball team that has only 1 senior. So the future's bright, and this kind of experience is the thing that can keep you going in the direction we all want to go.
Coach, how pleased were you, especially the first half, with how your players handled their own size, particularly left?
Yeah, you guys don't know this, but we played against the 7'5" guy in our league, who's a monster. So, for our guys tonight, he's big and he's good, but our guys aren't fazed by that, and I think you can see it in how we played. And again, we might be a little undersized, but we have length and athleticism across the board, which helps us. So I thought what we did really well in the first half was we didn't play our best in terms of taking care of the basketball. We weren't the best in the country at that, but that didn't affect our competitiveness. I can get you out of rhythm. It didn't affect our competitiveness. We really competed hard to then put ourselves in that position. We kept doing that until about the 34, 35-minute mark. But again, you have to give Maryland credit for them staying the course, sticking with whatever they were doing, and in the end, Wells was a difference there. And you got to give him credit. He's a senior. He's a really good player. He was a big difference maker there. And in the end, that's what it came down to, and he did a very good job, and so did their team. Good. All right, thank you.
I thought Denver was great. You got to give them a lot of credit. Our kids battled. We didn't want the season to end, and just really proud of them. We couldn't. Our big lineup couldn't guard them, and we went small. We went five guards. kind of made up an offense. And, I thought defensively the last 8 minutes of the game were just tremendous. And rebounding. Offensively, we played with poise. We went through Dez, and we got to the foul line. We kept talking about getting to the foul line. We did that. I was nervous all day. I knew this was going to be a hard one for us. We're gassed. 6 games in 12 days, and keep having to play a small lineup. We're gassed. Our guys just had guts, and just didn't want it to end. And really proud of our group. That's a really good win for us for what we've been through, all the emotional things that we've been through the last 12 days. So, thought Denver was great. Guys, one heck of a coach. There's a reason they were the 3 seed. There's a reason they won 20 out of 22 games coming in. But in the end, my guys they wanted it. It was great to see.
Mark, I'm sure that the fourth foul on Lehman there kind of prompted the switch to the 5 guards, but with the stoppage and the going to the
On Lynn?
Alex. Yeah. Do you feel like you guys just kind of took a breath there in some ways and just sort of said, all right, just take care of it now in some ways?
I don't know if the fourth foul on Alex was on Lynn. Did it. It was just, we were desperate. We couldn't guard it. And they had complete control of the game. We couldn't score. Our post guys couldn't score against them. And so let's just spread them out and try to drive and get to the foul line. So that's why we did it. And there's no tomorrow. Now there is. There wasn't. And so you just went with what your gut told you to do, and we got it done. So I don't know. We couldn't have done that 6 weeks ago. There's no way. Couldn't adjust it and done the things that we did. We made very little mistakes, very few mistakes defensively down the stretch. That's hard to guard. That stuff's really hard to guard, and proud of our group.
Mark, have you ever played 5 guards for that long at any level, or can you remember ever being on a court with,
No, I coached the JV team at Kansas. My power forward was 6'2", and sometimes he played center, so I'm sure we did it there, but no.
And follow up, because you have some guys who are good one-on-one players like Dez, like Seth, who pick people off the dribble, sometimes that's stuff that you don't want them to do all the time.
Yeah.
And when you have to make up, you said basically make up an offense the last.
Yeah.
I mean, does that come into play that you're happy you have guys who are?
Yeah, well, I think Seth kept us in the game the first half, because he played. He was the only one playing. But what we did is we play with poise, because normally when I give them that much freedom, they go crazy on me. And they've done that all year, but the last 4 weeks they haven't. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, however long is, since we turned it a little bit. So give the guys credit. They knew Dez had a mismatch. Dez got fouled. He's 3-point play. He got to the rim. Then they had to double him, get Jake to 3. So, Dez was our best post-up player all night. And, guys played smart. And then, last possession, when we used the whole clock, and then Seth gets all the way. Guys were just, they're getting it. They're figuring it out. They just want to win. Winning's more important than individualism. So it's good. It's just fun. That was fun. It was nerve-wracking till about the 8-minute mark, but it was fun at the end.
Yeah, Mark, Dez had that look in his eye. He only had 2 points early on in the second half, and then he sort of took over. Is that just Dez taking over the way he sort of did in Greensboro, or is that a coaching decision to get him more involved?
Oh, it was both. It was both. Dez taking over and guys allowing him to take over, throwing him the basketball, and us deciding to post Dez. And we also had Jake out there and Logan out there, so you had 2 shooters, so they had to stay close to them. Nick's been making shots, you have to stay close to him, and Seth can play. So there was good spacing for him out there, and. I kept telling him we just got to make 1 3. We got to make a 3 at some point. Jake baked it in for us. So that was weird. It was weird. It was, but you do. I played for a guy, Larry Brown. He just taught me. Says, Terps, you just got to figure it out. You just got to figure out how to win a game. It doesn't matter how you do it, just figure it out. And that's what we did. I got great coaching. Coach Spinelli was great on the bench tonight, and he really helped me. And we figured it out. Thank you.